I said, take them off. And he's just like smiling ear to ear. He thinks it's hysterical. Oh my God.
That is.
Thank you.
Y'all, when I tell you the internet stopped the day Savannah James hit that post button, I mean it literally came to a complete halt. People were at work, at the gym, in the middle of cooking dinner, and they all just froze. Because what Savannah allegedly dropped? Girl, it had everyone's jaw on the floor. Now, if you've been living under a rock, let me catch you up real quick. Savannah James, yes, LeBron's wife, the queen of minding her business and staying classy, apparently posted something that had fans thinking she straight up exposed Ayesha Curry for cheating. And baby, when I say exposed, I don't mean a little subtweet or a shady emoji. We're talking full-blown receipts. Screenshots, tagged photos, and allegedly even a leaked video. The kind of evidence that makes you go, oh, she came with the folder. Now here's where it gets wild. Insiders are saying that Steph Curry, Golden Boy, three-point king, the man who built his entire brand on being a family man, is quietly talking to lawyers about a possible divorce. Steph, Curry, divorce, lawyers. Those are words we never thought we'd hear in the same sentence. And if that wasn't messy enough, Ayesha is allegedly being linked to her golf coach. Yes, you heard me right. Her coach. Before we get into all the tea, let me take y'all back to where this whole thing really began. Cause nothing just blows up out of nowhere, right? There's always a spark. So there's this clip that resurfaced, and you know how the internet is. They will dig up footage from the depths of hell if they need to. This clip shows Ayesha at one of Steph's games. Now Steph is getting a standing ovation. The whole arena is on their feet, clapping, screaming his name. You'd expect his wife to be beaming with pride, clapping louder than anybody, maybe wiping a tear. But y'all, Ayesha was sitting there staring at her phone. No smile, no clap, nothing, just scrolling like she was at the DMV waiting for her number to be called. Fans immediately noticed her cold reaction, and the comments started pouring in. People were like, wait, did she even notice what just happened? But here's the part that really sent people over the edge. Allegedly, she was texting her coach during that very moment. While her husband was being celebrated by thousands of people, she was allegedly in her phone texting the same man she's now being linked to. Girl, you cannot make this stuff up.
Got real legends in the house. My man Steph Curry in the house. Y'all give it up for Steph Curry. Steph!
So now let's talk about what Savannah allegedly brought to the table. Because this is where the story goes from speculation to, oh, we got proof now. Savannah James reportedly dropped receipts about jealousy and infidelity. And when I say receipts, I don't mean she was just talking. Sources are saying Savannah hinted at the situation with a post that said something along the lines of, if you can't celebrate your man's success, you'll start competing with him. Now, she didn't say any names. She didn't tag Ayesha. But baby, the internet is not slow. Fans immediately connected the dots. And let me tell you, the comments section turned into a whole therapy session. People were calling it out as a "some women can't handle being second to greatness" moment. They were saying things like, when your man is at the top, you're supposed to be his piece, not his competition. The quote hit different because it felt like it was speaking directly to what people had been noticing about Ayesha for a while now. Okay, so let's get into the golf situation because this is where things start to look real suspicious. Ayesha recently started posting about golfing. Now there's nothing wrong with picking up a new hobby, right? But fans started raising their eyebrows when they noticed she kept tagging the same person, Coach Jackie Regal. And here's the thing, Steph was nowhere in sight, like not in a single photo. Instead, Ayesha's out here drinking champagne with her friends, living her best life on the green, and Coach Jackie is right there in the frame. People started asking, where's Steph? Why isn't he there? But wait, it gets messier. Fans started noticing something else. In some of her posts, Ayesha is clearly wearing her wedding ring. Okay, cool. But then there's another clip where she's about to take her ring off the moment a shirtless man appears in the background.
Marcel! Oh.
Now, I don't know about you, but that's the kind of behavior that makes people start asking questions. Why are you suddenly aware of your ring when a certain person shows up? The internet ran with it. They started creating whole timelines, pulling up past posts, comparing dates, and building a case like they were about to take it to court. Now, if you thought the golf posts were bad, wait until you hear about the Reddit situation. A blind item popped up claiming that a certain NBA couple isn't as faithful as everyone thinks. According to the post, both people in the relationship allegedly have secret flings, but they keep it private to protect their public image. And y'all, fans immediately started connecting the dots. They built an entire timeline using Ayesha's solo trips, Steph's rest periods when he wasn't traveling with the team, and Savannah's shady posts. And guess what? Everything was overlapping. People were in the comments like, wait, This makes too much sense. This explains why Steph's been so quiet lately. Now this is where the story takes a turn nobody saw coming. Somehow Drake's name got dragged into this whole mess. There's an old clip that resurfaced of Drake and Ayesha together in Milan. This was right after one of his concerts. They're in the same space, looking friendly, and people started asking, wait, what was that about? And before anyone could even process that, another video pops up of Ayesha recreating Drake's Nokia dance. You know the one. The viral dance that had everybody in their feelings. Fans started putting two and two together. They remembered the playful rivalry between Drake and Steph, the courtside moments, the little jabs, and then people started saying that Drake's team used to joke around saying, he always wins off court. Girl, when I tell you the internet ran with that line, and here's where Savannah allegedly comes in. According to sources, Savannah got involved because she wanted to protect the wives' circle. She didn't want Ayesha's alleged behavior to reflect poorly on the other NBA wives who are out here trying to maintain a certain image. LeBron and Steph are both seen as family men, and if one of their families starts to crack publicly, it makes people question all of them. After Ayesha went on the Call Her Daddy podcast and made that shocking confession, Steph went completely silent. No posts about her. No comments, no public support, radio silence, and for a man who used to post his wife and kids constantly, that's a red flag the size of Texas, but it gets even messier.
So, I didn't want kids. I didn't want to get married.
Savannah allegedly DM'd someone close to Steph with receipts, like actual proof of whatever was going on. And according to reports, Steph's team is now quietly preparing divorce papers. Not making a big announcement, just handling it behind the scenes the way you do when you're trying to protect your brand. Let's talk about the Call Her Daddy interview, because this is really where everything started to unravel publicly. Ayesha sat down on the podcast and admitted, on camera, for the world to hear, that she never wanted marriage or children.
I didn't want to get married. I thought I was going to be career girl and that's it. And I had my eyes set on my goal.
She called herself a career girl and basically said that wasn't the life she envisioned for herself. Now, there's nothing wrong with being a career-driven woman. But the problem here is that Steph Curry's entire brand is built on faith, family, and loyalty. His whole image is, I'm a family man, I love my wife, I love my kids. So when Ayesha comes out and says she never even wanted that life, fans felt betrayed. The comments were brutal. People were saying things like, so you let this man build his life around you and you didn't even want it? And then there was this one viral tweet that absolutely took off. It said, the only bad shot Steph Curry ever took was Ayesha. Girl, when I tell you that tweet had people in a chokehold, the likes, the retweets, the quote tweets, it was everywhere. Fans were calling her ungrateful, especially considering Steph has had one of the cleanest reputations in the entire NBA. Now, when Savannah first got involved, a lot of people thought she was just being messy, but then insiders started coming forward with a different story. According to people close to the situation, Savannah actually warned Ayesha months ago. This wasn't her jumping online and starting drama out of nowhere. She allegedly reached out privately first, tried to handle it woman to woman. See, Savannah wanted to protect the image of NBA wives and family men like LeBron and Steph. These women work hard to maintain a certain standard, to show that you can be supportive, successful, and classy all at the same time. And when one person in that circle starts acting out, it reflects on all of them. So Savannah allegedly said to Ayesha, don't disrespect your king in public. And honestly, that's not messy, that's protective. But when Ayesha allegedly didn't listen, that's when Savannah decided to take it public in her own subtle way. Now, LeBron is always careful with what he says publicly, but even he couldn't resist speaking on marriage in a way that felt very intentional. In a recent interview, LeBron talked about what makes a marriage work. He said, communication is number 1, being honest number 2, number 3, you have to be okay with being uncomfortable sometimes.
Yeah, I think communication is number 1. Being honest is number 2. Number 3 is just like, you have to be okay with being uncomfortable in relationships sometimes.
Now, on the surface, that sounds like general advice, right? But fans immediately connected that quote to Savannah's DMs about Ayesha. Because if you read between the lines, it sounds like he's talking about exactly what Ayesha and Steph are allegedly going through. People were in the comments like, LeBron said what he said. He knows exactly what's going on. Now let's talk about Steph, because his silence has been louder than any statement he could have made. Insiders are claiming that Steph has mentally checked out. He's still showing up to games, still doing his job, still being professional, but behind the scenes, he's done. Sources say he's skipped brand meetings. He's not showing up to Ayesha's events anymore. He's not posting about her, not commenting on her content, not doing any of the supportive husband things he used to do so naturally. And now, Ayesha's appearing solo at interviews and charity events. No Steph in sight, and fans have been picking up on it. There's this saying that's been going around: a man doesn't announce when he's leaving. You see it in how he moves, and that's exactly what people are seeing with Steph. He's not making a big dramatic exit, he's just quietly stepping back. Now, Ayesha's team is not sitting around letting this play out without doing damage control. They're in full PR cleanup mode. They're planning solo live streams, charity events, anything they can do to fix her image and make her look sympathetic. But here's the thing. Fans are already comparing her situation to other high-profile NBA wife drama. People are bringing up Gabrielle Union during Dwayne Wade's break, Larsa Pippen and her dating scandals, Vanessa Bryant and her early marriage struggles. But here's the difference. In all of those situations, the women were dealing with things that were done to them. Ayesha, she allegedly caused her own chaos, and that's what's making it so hard for people to feel sympathy for her. And just when you thought it couldn't get any messier, an old interview resurfaced.
Zero, this sounds weird, but like male attention. And so then like I begin to internalize it and I'm like, is something wrong with me?
In it, Ayesha talked about how she felt invisible next to Steph's fame and said she didn't get enough male attention. When that interview first came out years ago, people kind of brushed it off. But now, looking back at it with everything that's happened, fans are seeing it as disrespect toward a man who's always protected her and their image. People were like, she really said she wanted more male attention while married to Steph Curry? So what's Steph doing now? Well, according to sources, he might be planning to relocate without Ayesha's brand offices being involved. There are reports that he's been living in a rental condo near Chase Center since October. Not their family home, not the mansion they built together. A rental condo, alone, and it gets deeper. He's allegedly met privately with his pastor about a possible Christian separation. For those who don't know, a Christian separation is basically when a couple separates in a way that aligns with their faith, often before considering divorce. It's a serious step. But here's the thing about Steph. He's not the type to humiliate someone publicly. He's not going to go on social media and blast Ayesha. He's going to handle it with grace and dignity. But make no mistake, he's done being disrespected. And when a man like Steph reaches that point, there's no going back. Y'all, if this divorce actually happens, it could be the biggest NBA breakup since Carmelo and Lala, and that's saying something. But this one hits different. This isn't just about cheating. This isn't just about growing apart. This is about respect and image. This is about a man who built his entire brand on being a family man, on being loyal, on being the good guy. And now, fans believe Savannah exposed cracks in the Curry family's perfect image that nobody saw coming. For years, Steph and Ayesha were held up as relationship goals. They were the couple everyone pointed to, and if that image is shattered, it's going to shake a lot of people. There's potentially a $500 million divorce on the line. That's not a small number. So where does that leave us? The story's still unfolding. Fans are waiting to see if Steph's lawyer actually shows up in court. But at the end of the day, this is more than just money. This is about legacy. This is about image. The NBA love story might be heading straight for a scoreboard, and not everyone's walking off a winner. So now I'm turning it over to y'all. Drop your comments below. Are you Team Steph or Team Ayesha? Do you think Savannah was right to get involved? Or should she have stayed out of it? Let me know what you think, because this tea is hot. And if you made it to the end of this video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on notifications so you don't miss any updates. Because trust me, this is far from over. Until next time, y'all, stay blessed.